Hey everybody, watch this review here with a really quick look at the variant Marvel Universe Sentinel. Why just a quick look? Because I goofed on the whole editing process for the original video, and I will toss a longer one up eventually, but until then, this'll do. Now, if you're wondering why is this a variant, and why is this crazy looking silver one going to retailers, that's a really good question for Hasbro's marketing department, and if you ever manage to track down one of their product managers, be sure to ask them that numerous times. But this is the variant first released at San Diego Comic Con 2011 in this really cool outer box with a sort of standard oversized blister inside, which I'm not going to show you right now. What I will show you is the fact that it's basically the same height as the Marvel Legends Sentinel. And I'll mention the fact that one of my major gripes is that it lacks finger articulation, because when you have epic-sized characters, you need finger articulation. I mean, sure, he can hold most Marvel Universe figures, but it's just not the same thing. I mean, look at this. See? Now compare it to this. Yeah. Just not as cool. Speaking of the hands, by the way, it's kind of interesting that they have these black fingers here, whereas in the box art we have some clearly silver ones, which it probably would have looked a lot cooler with. I'm not sure what's up with that, but whatever. As for the figure itself, I got this off Hasbro's website for $60. It was like free shipping, which, you know, kind of offsets the fact that it would be ordinarily cheaper at retailers. So, I mean, that's cool in itself. It does have sound effects, which I'm not terribly happy with. I mean, I would have preferred just the whole eyes lighting up and stuff. But, I mean, the voice acting is kind of neat. The real issue is just the fact that there's 18 different sayings and you don't really have a way to hit the sayings that you want. I much rather would have it, like, say 5 things, like halt mutant, and then just mention it being damaged, which would be a lot cooler. As for the figure itself, just not a whole lot of paintwork anywhere on it. It's just mostly solid colors and stuff. This upper torso piece is a really thin plastic, sort of like what was seen on the Savage Frost Giant. Ditto for his groin plate here. Now, supposedly, people mentioned that they recycled some of the parts from the Marvel Universe Galactus for this, and, you know, that might be part of the reason why they decided to just go the route with the sort of cheaper pieces that you can fit over the stuff. And, you know, it does also sort of give hope where, you know, it's just easier for them to sort of fit the pieces together, so eventually down the road we might get one with a rounded chest plate, which honestly is my preference, because that was the look sported by Sentinels in the 90s Marvel, X-Men the Animated Series line, which, you know, was basically where I first came to really learn about the Sentinels and stuff, and, you know, shaped a lot of my perception about them. As for detailing, you'll notice that you have all these funky scrapes and stuff here on the shoulder plates. I really don't get what's up with that, just because, I mean, this is your sort of average-sized human. They're down to here on the Sentinel. How are they scraping the shoulders? I mean, much more expect maybe center or anything just sort of angled up instead of angled down. Kind of funky. By the way, in case you were wondering, does it scale well with the Marvel Legends line? Here's the Wave 10 Cyclops from the Toy Biz one. Here's the Marvel Universe one, just to give you a comparison here. So, I mean, yeah, because it is basically the same size as the Marvel Legends Sentinel, it does work out. And granted, they're just really different figures in many regards. I mean, if you look down at the knees even, instead of having these sort of robotic knees, you have something that really looks like a bone, which is kind of funky. And then, you know, you don't have as many exposed parts, but you have this really annoying little etching and stuff into the figure, which I don't get what's up with that. You also have the robot belly button that people have been mocking, but hey, he's got a robot six-pack, he needs the robot belly button. quick run-through of articulation, run-through of sound effects will be another video, but down here at the wrist, and it's kind of actually tough to mess around with this when holding the figure, just because this forearm tends to swivel, but you have a point of rotation at the wrist in addition to forward-back motion. It's not a huge range. It also is like sort of side to side, because it's like on a physical ball. But again, it's kind of impeded by the massive forearm, which rotates around. Double pin joint here at the elbow. Bicep rotates, ball jointed shoulder. Not impeded at all because of the shoulder plates going up pretty easily. Only sort of issue is just the fact that you really have to put a lot of pressure on the arm to move this, which I sometimes feel like I might be snapping the joint that's connecting it to the bicep, which is kind of a downer. Head has a full range of motion. It's on a physical ball. You can pop it off. I've seen it displayed like this just for flight poses, which is kind of a cool idea, but I'd be worried about never getting the head back on again. Waist rotates. You have that sort of funky line joint here for the ball here at the hip, but it does sort of give you the whole general range of motion pretty easily, and then you have a point of rotation. The knee, double joint. At the calf, rotation, then at the foot, tiny amount of pivot and some forward back. All in all, really happy to have this one. Something I've been seriously looking forward to. The only downside is he's not guaranteed to possibly go at retail. I mean, it's believed that he might be going at this point, but there really are no guarantees, and I would hope to pick up several of these, which kind of isn't an option now because he's not even up on the Hasbro Toy Shop. But just been a really quick look at the variant Marvel Universe Sentinel. Pretty solid figure. It stacks up kind of favorably against the original. Much thicker build than this one, especially around the waist area, which I guess is sort of a Sentinel robot thing, whatever. But yeah, until next time, folks.